If you're following Depp vs. Heard and Marilyn Manson, you might know there's an NBC reporter out there named Kat Tenbarge. She likes to pitch in her opinion about these matters. Now, one thing Kat will claim is that YouTubers and independent people don't have facts and they distort facts. Well, I'm going to say I'm only claiming one fact. That's this. We don't have actual evidence Marilyn Manson did anything to these women. As far as I know, out in public, there's no police report, medical report, video, or audio that's undisputed that it's Manson by either side. But let's see what Kat has to say. And of course, Kat's talking about Colonel Kurtz, who replies on Kat's thread. Not only Colonel Kurtz, but it's one of the people Kat's talking about, it seems. So she first says, people should really pay attention to how influencers covering celebrity legal cases are interfering with those cases directly. Look at how they are speaking to accusers directly to manipulate them into recanting. Look at how it's working. It's extra judicial influence. And here she takes the worst of the worst. This is what these people like Kat do. All right, I've said over and over here, and it's common sense that in every community, in every movement, there's going to be some bad apples who can't control themselves. They might even be kids. You never know who they are. So people like Kat take the worst possible examples and showcase that. Same thing with the Amber fans. They take the worst possible examples of Johnny fans and make it out as if that's the widespread community, as if it's a common thing that most of the community does. Most of the community is looking for facts and evidence, and most of us, if presented with the right evidence, would probably change our mind. But the problem is, the talk is never about the evidence, the evidence, the evidence. The talk is about the social issues, who's involved, who's getting involved, who's influencing who. I don't care. Police report, medical report, audio, video, present the proof, and then we'll talk. The Manson community shouldn't even be a thing in relation to these cases. This is what I'm talking about with stan communities being weaponized in favor of the powerful against the powerless. Well, what in the heck are you talking about? Because I don't look at Evan Rachel Wood as powerless. Somebody who makes an HBO special about somebody with no evidence isn't powerless. That's someone who's on the top tier of society who knows someone in HBO. She's also a musician who knows people in the music industry. Who's powerless? Okay, maybe you're talking about some of the other accusers, but the main accuser, the main focus here is Evan Rachel Wood, Esme Bianco, who was on Game of Thrones. Not that that makes her powerful, but it makes her somebody. The legal community in particular needs to pay very close attention to this because lawyers for the accused certainly are. Johnny Depp's lawyer admitted to doing this on the stand. It's a playbook and it could be used for a multitude of purposes. Okay, well, what's the playbook on the other side? Accuse somebody with megabucks of things you can't prove and get some money? That's not a playbook. Yeah, I guess that's just good old honesty. And this person here who seems to be thinking clearly says influencers think they're journalists and then break the basic ethics that would get them fired from a newsroom. Give me a break, man. Nothing gets anyone fired from a newsroom these days. News is all about who gets there first. They get it wrong a lot, and there's very little correction when they get it wrong. And it could be about big issues too they get wrong. Things that affect lives, real lives across countries. But of course, this is the dangerous stuff about Marilyn Manson being accused of things that no one can prove. They know exactly what they're doing. They steal our work, pass it off as their own, monetize it, and distort facts to profit as much as possible from their audiences. Once again, with the monetization. The monetization. They monetize it. The monetization. Everything's monetized. Everything you put out there on the net now, when you get to a certain level of followers, can be monetized. That's just life right now. That's how it is. Things get out there, they get views, and advertisers make the deal where you get a little money if people watch you when you're entertaining. And some of us happen to be entertaining. We can't help it, Kat. Sorry. But NBC doesn't monetize news against Marilyn Manson or Johnny Depp, do they? They've got the proof. That's not monetizing, is it? So the problem is the hypocrisy here is out in the open. And this person asks, is it illegal? Hinting to the fact that it should be illegal. Well, no, it's not. Here's the thing. When a court trial is in progress, no one can interrupt that. The court case is in progress. It's in those four walls of the courtroom. Sure, once again, it's 2023. There's cell phones, there's social media, there's things like that. But no one can actually get their opinion directly to anyone who's making a decision, like the jury or the judge. Not at that time. The jury and the judge can read what's out there online, but it's their responsibility to be professional. That's up to them, not the people who've got opinions and questions. And Steven says there should be some mechanism to hold these people accountable for intimidation. Social media today is as powerful as showing up at people's homes or places of work and bullying them into submission, and often incites that behavior. It shouldn't be tolerated. Well, Steven, you're a very, 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 very weak person if you think reading a text or something like that is as intimidating as actually showing up. I'm here in Tokyo. You think a text message from around the world scares me? If someone's going to send a text message from like 5,000 miles away, even across the country or something, that shouldn't intimidate you in the same way as if they showed up at your doorstep, taking time out of their day, traveling to come find you. That's ridiculous, man. It's sad that people think like this. What's wrong with you? All right, maybe it can be intimidating. Yes, I'm not disagreeing that it can't be intimidating, but to compare it to showing up in real life? Sorry, man. That's silly. And this person, Moby, has some common sense. They say, yet the Phoenix Rising documentary and the coordinated social media campaigns were not extrajudicial influence. Exactly. So Kat, as a professional reporter, has no balance. What Kat should do is mention the HBO special. That's got no influence over anything? Is that a joke? An HBO special. So you can see Kat is totally one-sided. She's got no argument against this point. It's absolutely correct. An obscure DM from one of the bad apples in the community holds as much weight as an HBO special? And Colonel Kurtz pitches in and says, the horror, the horror. Well, I probably missed some context there, but we get the message. The stuff happening with the community, as Kat puts it, the community, is not so horrible. It's pretty normal. Anyway, I thought I was going to mention Colonel Kurtz a little bit more, but Colonel Kurtz has been on Twitter expressing her opinion on Kat's opinions, and Colonel's made a few videos as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm doing Manson. Whatever news comes up about Johnny, most of it's really good these days. Pop culture. If you don't subscribe, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.